Some leftists in Finland here. I'm moving soon, so I'm recording videos in a bunch of wacky different places. Since this new right-wing fascist government was installed here in Finland, I've just been hearing all of these justifications for the policies that they're passing to make life harder on working people. And one of those reasons is they want more entrepreneurs, right? They want more people to go out there and hang their own shingle up in the world. And it's really funny because these corporate right-wing assholes will praise small business. I mean, growing up in the US, you would hear right-wingers go on and on and on about how small business owners are the backbone of America. They'll praise small business owners while propping up the corporations financially and with tax breaks that ruin small business in the first place. The Walmarts of the world, the big box stores, They think it's so noble for someone to go out there and hang their own shingle, and yet they just make it easier for the big business assholes of this world to put them out of business. Yeah, just go out there and be an entrepreneur. If your work conditions suck, like for example, taking away your first paid sick day and incentivizing you to go into work sick and hurt and ill so you get everybody else sick. If your working life sucks, go make your own working life. Be your own boss. As if it's so easy. It's always so easy for right-wingers, isn't it? It's always so easy for these motherfuckers. Go be your own boss. If you don't like what's happening at your work, you can do anything you want. As if they're trying to convince themselves, but this is how they convince even people of modest means, working class people. This is how they convince them to vote for them, even though they're not going to help them at all. Any working class people in Finland who voted for coalition or voted for the fucking Finns party or the Christian Democrats, it's going to be very, very hard for me to feel bad for you if everything that you tried goes tits up and you're seeing your benefits just evaporate before your very eyes. This is the very benefits that you may be on right now, but somebody convinced you over time that benefits are for lazy people. Benefits are for lazy people. Okay, what about that first paid sick day that these right-wingers are taking away? Is that for lazy people, or was that for rest and recuperation so that people could be more productive? People in the US, at least, while I was there, and probably still to this day, would praise the Nordics for all their productivity, even though they more or less work the same amount of hours. But they're so productive and they're so happy and healthy. How? Well, that first paid sick day was one of those reasons, and now these right-wingers are fucking taking it away under the guise of cutting costs. No, what they want to basically, okay, and they're also making it easier, and this is no coincidence, they're making it easier for employers to fire their employees. So they're weakening your union rights. They're weakening your unions. They're trying to take them away from you, these things that you've relied on for so long and all of a sudden are pretending are such a big fucking burden. So if you go into work sick, you become less productive, they make it easier to fire you. Put two and two together. Put two and two together. And maybe try to remember that in 4 years when you go back to the ballot box, if of course this government hasn't dissolved and crashed and burned the way that I hope it does so desperately. Yes, I am rooting for this government to fail. I'm rooting for NCP to fail. I'm especially rooting for the fucking fascist, racist Finns party, the do-nothings who have no ideas for nothing except immigration, and those suck too. I hope they fail. I hope the Christian Democrats fail, and I hope that they never fucking come back to... What do the fucking Christian Democrats do anyway? These socially conservative, inept morons. What the fuck do they do? They don't do anything except talk about how abortion is bad and creationism is good, and just and the Swedish People's Party is just kind of there. I don't even think the Swedish People's Party even wants to work with these fucking clowns. I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like during the negotiations, the Swedish People's Party just seems so unenamored with all of the corporate tripe that Petteri Orpo and the rest of his corporate dickwad clown friends were talking about, and they were definitely at odds with the Finns party. I mean, all you really have to do to be at odds with the Finns party is be a decent human being with compassion for immigrants and people who are less fortunate, but, But this is what's happening. You're losing your first paid sick day, so you're being punished for being sick. You're going to be incentivized to work hurt and work ill because, again, somebody somewhere in one of these right-wing parties told you that it's lazy to These union things and these rights that you're given, this time off that you're given to keep your and you're paid for to keep your mind at ease. You know, this is all stuff for lazy people. Laziness when it comes to what's going on with the economy right now is like that much of a problem. And incentivizing people to just go be entrepreneurs and be eaten by the self-eating system that is capitalism, the self-destructive force in the world known as capitalism, and incentivizing them to work hurt and sick just to get fired, that ain't the way forward. It is not the way forward. You cannot incentivize people to go out and make a small business and just make life easier for the corporate dickwads who are trying to put them out of business and who do put them out of business. And you certainly cannot think that on a large scale, the 5.5 million people in this country, that even the majority of them are going to be successful business owners, because again, it is the goal of capitalism to put your competitors out of business, to provide something that they cannot provide, even if it's at a cheaper price. Doesn't matter. If they're put out of business, that's good. That's capitalism. That's competition. It's just completely without logic. But then again, when has the right wing ever been with logic? Even on a good day, the right wing and logic are like this, to quote, to paraphrase rather, Jimmy McGill from Better Call Saul. Oh boy, things are gonna get worse. They are going to get worse. But again, I'm rooting so hard for this government to fail. And again, if you voted for these people and you go tits up, why should I feel bad for you? You've had no excuse. You have no excuse to think that the right wing is going to help you in your times of need, in your times of pain, in your times of suffering. All they want is obedient wage slaves. Obedient wage slaves. Obedient wage slaves. That's all they want. That's all they want you to be. And if you can't be that, be hungry, be poor, be broke, be homeless. It's not their concern, because they have no concern. They have no compassion. They don't give a fuck about workers, the people who prop this economy up. They think it's the billionaires. No, fuck you. It's the workers, and you're treating them like shit, and you're going to become the laughingstock of Europe and the world, maybe, because the world used to look to you, and they're going to go, wow, these people did this with this pristine system. They voted to just, yeah. Rant over. Have a good day, folks.